Right. Left.
Minorikawa sprinted down Center Guy, dodging between oncoming pedestrians.
Out of my way! Can't you people see I'm in a hurry?
He stole a glimpse at his watch as he ran. It was just after 1 o'clock. The Burning Hammer sales demo would be getting underway any moment now. He could probably get an interview even if he showed up late. Still, he wanted to get the venue ASAP to get a feel for things before they got started. The best time to scope out an event was before it started and after it ended. This was something he'd learned from Toyama. Everything he knew about journalism, the publisher had taught him. It had been a combative education. Minorikawa learning despite himself as the two men constantly butted heads.
Oh, give me a break. What's wrong with my article?
Minorikawa shouted. His voice was loud enough to carry throughout the editing department.
Just go with it, Nolan, I think.
Shut up! I told you to rewrite it, so rewrite it.
Toyama, sticking to his guns. Minorikawa recalled the scene from the days when the two men had worked at the same newspaper, and Toyama was his boss.
What's wrong with it? Show me what's wrong.
All of it!
How can it be all of it?
Co-workers stared, keeping their distance as the pair screamed themselves red in the face. These arguments had become a regular occurrence, regular enough that everyone had learned not to try to intervene.
I poured my heart and soul into this piece. Go back and read it again.
I could read it over and over and still read the same thing! A load of so important claptrap! Go calm down, write me a more neutral piece.
Calm down. You must be joking. I write what I feel in my heart. The one thing I refuse to back down on.
That's the one thing that keep getting your copy rejected.
Aren't you the one who told me to be bold and daring with my writing?
Yeah, I did. I don't remember telling you to write me garbage.
By now, Minorikawa and Toyama were practically at each other's throats. Still, despite these almost daily shouting matches, Minorikawa never resented Toyama. Not really. How could he write a piece in a way that would shut Toyama up? Trying to figure that out was how he had developed his skills as a reporter. Up until he quit his position at the newspaper to start his own publishing company, Toyama had been a stubborn old man in the finest sense of the term. But then, in order to keep his company afloat, at some point he had abandoned all his ideals and principles. It was disgraceful. Just disgraceful. Thinking about it made Minorikawa's blood boil. It rankled him to know that such a pathetic remnant of a man had been such an influence on him. He reminded himself once again that he needed to wrap up his current job as soon as possible. By now, Minorikawa was getting close to the demo site. he increased his speed. He wound up barreling right into someone who was walking into a knick-knack shop. It was a girl, about high school age. She jumped to her feet, then snatched Minorikawa by the collar.
CJ.
I don't think she's joined back in yet.
She's not here.
Not here. Oh, okay. Jules, go for it.
Hey, watch where you're going!
She snapped. Her upper body strength was impressive, to say the least. The chokehold she had on his neck made it almost impossible for him to breathe. He had to do something fast.
Let's go this route. Sorry. Sorry.
He bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now. But the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip.
Look.
I'm sorry for not looking where I was going.
Minorikawa could barely croak out his apology.
Oh, fine. I'll let it slide this once.
The girl said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl.
Wait, hold on.
She murmured. She stared good and hard at Minorikawa's face.
Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa.
Surprised, Minorikawa gave her another look.
Miku?
Yeah. Wow, so you do remember me.
She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck.
Wow, how long's it been?
She asked.
About 5 years, I think. You still doing your bonsai stuff?
Nah,
He replied.
I gave that up.
Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident.
I want to get strong.
She had said.
Strong enough to beat those guys up.
And so Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo.
Well, you've sure gotten strong, all right.
Minorikawa said.
That's the sort of girl that's the sort of gal I am.
Miku handed him a flyer. It read, Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride. present this flyer for a free drink.
It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks.
Miku said.
That sounds pretty fun, actually.
Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect.
You should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the ringing champion.
Miku beamed with pride.
Wait, you're the champion? Hey, good thing I apologized when I did. In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by sometime soon. Right now I'm in sort of a hurry, though.
Oh, sure.
Miku said.
Catch you later then.
She headed into the shop as Minorikawa rushed off toward the sales demo. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building, where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines. 100% weight loss guaranteed. The messaging was kind of a mess. It felt like they'd been thrown together at the last minute. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favor of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs. Most of them occupied by female attendees. There was a stage set up at the far end of the room, but nobody was on it. It appeared that the event had yet to begin. Minorikawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them, at least, that ship had surely sailed some time ago. The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. Could something like that really exist, though? Yeah, well, Minorikawa was just going to have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then a heavy-set young woman took the stage and gave a little bow. It was the girl from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on stage began performing magic tricks. She twiddled a silk hat and pulled a bunch of flowers from inside it. Sparse applause rose up from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick, and then another.
Jules.
Ta-da!
A coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words.
She's not very good at this.
Minorikawa thought. Though whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. This was no time to stand around watching silly sleight of hand antics. Scanning the room, he spotted a man who looked like he was probably in charge. Minorikawa headed over to him.
Hey, are you the one running this thing?
Well, yes.
When's the actual sales demo going to start?
Soon. Very soon. Yep.
In how many minutes?
You know. Soon.
As for a number,
Just, soon. Real soon.
This was getting him nowhere.
3 minutes.
Minorikawa declared. He held up 3 fingers to emphasize his point.
If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes,
If it doesn't start, then what?
I don't think I'll start a ruckus. I'm going to start a ruckus.
He kept his voice firm, his words short and clipped.
Hey now. No need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then?
You've got 2 minutes.
Hey, a minute can't have passed already.
1 minute.
Whoa. Just what kind of watch you got there?
Tell me why the demo isn't starting.
Well, you know, no real reason, really?
The man was getting seriously flustered.
I just, I wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first.
Nope, try again. 30 seconds left.
Okay. Alright. What happened is, the required merchandise,
What happened to the merchandise?
Minorikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare.
well, it's just,
Time's up.
What?
The man's face went pale. I don't deserve to be forgiven for what I've done. We may have both done the same thing, but my motives, those were different. So, I don't regret what I did. And yet, if someone were to ask if there was some small part of me that wanted to see the results of my research, I could not deny it. Osawa grabbed his shoes from the entryway, then headed back for the door. He didn't want the detectives in his living room to know he was going to meet with Makino. That pest, Kajiwara, was nowhere in sight. Now was his chance to slip away. Gotcha! Speak of the devil. Kajiwara had snuck up behind him. Are you going out? The detective asked. No. No, I was just... Osawa felt something inside his shoe. Glancing down, he saw a rubber duck stuffed inside of it. Is this your doing? Sorry, give me a minute.
It's fine.
I laid a booby trap! Or rather, a ducky trap. Kajiwara beamed with self-satisfaction. You know, you act like a grade schooler, Osawa said. Indeed, sir. I'm a grown man with a youthful heart. Leave it to Kajiwara to yet again miss the point entirely. With a sigh, Osawa tossed the duck at him. Kajiwara caught it nimbly in one hand and stuffed it right into his pocket. I won't tell you that you aren't allowed to leave, sir. All I ask is that you tell me where you've been and where you plan on going. My work is highly confidential. I'm not at liberty to discuss just anything about... Please, try to work with me on this, sir, Kajiwara interrupted. He leaned in uncomfortably close. Do you recall what I said before? About how I'd appreciate if you didn't keep secrets from me. Osawa hesitated, inwardly debating how much he should share. See. I'm just going to buy some cigarettes, he lied. Kajiwara flashed an awkward smile. Now, that's odd. I didn't think you smoked, Mr. Osawa. I'm getting them for Ai. I've never seen your wife smoke either, sir. And besides... Kajiwara leaned in closer to him. Your wife isn't even home right now, is she? This wasn't going as Osawa had hoped. Evidently, he wasn't a very good liar. Even so, he decided to double down. Alright, fine. It was actually Mr. Tanaka who asked me to get them. Oh, now that's surprising. Is that the sort of thing he'd ask of you, Mr. Osawa? Kajiwara was genuinely gifted at getting on one's nerves. Osawa barely contained an urge to punch the detective right in the face. Well, no matter, I suppose, Kajiwara went on at last. Just try not to wander too far. Oh, and also... He produced something that looked like a small transceiver from inside his coat. Please take this with you. What the heck is it? It's a bug tracker, sir. It'll beep in response to a nearby listening device. I don't need this. He pushed Kajiwara's hand aside and the bug tracker fell to the floor. Mr. Osawa, you mustn't underestimate the lengths to which these kidnappers might go. For once, the detective's face was all seriousness. Alright, fine. Osawa snatched up the device and headed out the door. Makino's car was parked out front. A driver stood alongside it. Osawa exchanged a wordless greeting with him, then got into the back. He found Makino reclining in one of the luxurious leather seats.
Emilio, go for it.
Oh, wait, no, wait. Sorry. What did you want to ask me about?
Lighting a cigar, he glanced sidelong at Osawa. I was hoping you could explain the situation to me, sir.
Situation would that be?
So he was still going to beat around the bush, even now. Osawa suppressed an urge to shout at him. Are you the one who let the antiviral out of the lab, sir?
It was me.
Makino didn't bat an eyelid. So why had he been so coy a few moments earlier? But how? The fingerprint authentication system is almost unbreakable. Getting access to the storage area would... He trailed off as a thought suddenly occurred to him. It was not strictly true that fingerprint authentication was the only means of entry. Osawa and Tanaka had both set up passwords as a failsafe in case an injured fingertip somehow prevented them from operating the scanner properly. But these passwords were 10-character alphanumeric strings. No one could just haphazardly fumble their way in. Could Makino have sent a request to the electronic locks manufacturer and asked them to unlock it then? No. That required the approval of 6 board members. And Osawa was one of those 6 people. There really seemed to be no way of getting in without leaving any trace.
Absolutely right. Of course.
Makino said with a grin, as if reading his thought.
I couldn't gain access to the lab without you and Tanaka. But I didn't have to.
He exhaled a large plume of smoke.
Remember when we released the samples for animal testing?
No. It couldn't be. Osawa broke out in a sweat.
But it could.
Makino said.
I had them divert some of the samples intended for animal testing. Naturally, that didn't leave any record of anything being taken from the lab.
Osawa bit his lip hard. He couldn't help but feel betrayed by his company. But why? Makino let out a nasal, one-note chuckle.
You don't seem to grasp just how valuable this thing really is.
What do you mean by that, sir? Makino lowered his voice.
There's a major world power out there that has already weaponized the UA virus.
For a moment, Osawa thought this was just a sick joke, but the look on Makino's face told him otherwise.
I've been informed that it was recently used in a military installation in the Middle East.
Within 12 hours of dispersal, there were at least 800 casualties. If you include civilians, the number jumps to over 2,000. Any evidence of the disease agent and the bomb that delivered it has, of course, been covered up.
Osawa listened in amazement, his outrage that any government would commit such an atrocity not quite suppressing his excitement at discovering that the virus could be propagated by explosive means. He felt a flush of guilt at his own fascination.
Antiviral you created, Osawa, has the potential to render this weapon useless. Right now, the Koshi pharmaceutical possesses the sole means to combat UA.
Makino's lips curled into a boastful grin.
Any number of countries would love to get their hands on it. The major power in question has offered an unprecedented sum. And that's hardly a surprise. Having a monopoly on the antiviral makes the weapon itself that much more valuable.
To Osawa, this was a glimpse into another, terrifying world, one he had barely imagined previously. And so you wanted to get human testing over with as soon as possible. Is that it? He spat. Makino shrugged.
I explained full well to the locals that the risks of experimentation, and they were paid in accordance with said risks. They willingly consented to infection with the UA virus.
Sophistry. Osawa huffed. Nothing more. You used money to deceive a bunch of poor farmers.
Come on, Osawa. Who's being disingenuous now?
Makino eyed him with contempt and let out another puff of smoke.
I know you, Osawa, and I know you're not really concerned with some bunch of hick farmers. All you care about is your research. The thing that's really nagging you right now is that someone went ahead and did the final clinicals without you.
Oh, spare me the ridicule, sir! As a virologist, I have a moral duty to...
To what?
Makino barked.
Go to the media with this? Do you have any idea how much money the company has thrown at your lab to keep it up and running?
Osawa gaped. I do appreciate all the company has done for me, sir. He spoke so quietly that his voice was nearly inaudible.
In any event,
Makino said,
now that you know about the human testing, I can't let you go to America.
How do you know about that? He'd insisted that I keep his planned relocation a secret, but apparently she'd told her father regardless.
You insist on making the move anyway. I'll use any means necessary to stop you.
Makino regarded Osawa with a bloodshot gaze. Any means necessary? Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. Sir, you don't mean that my daughter's kidnapping was...
Don't be ridiculous,
Makino said before Osawa could finish.
Of course that wasn't me.
Nevertheless,
Nevertheless, I'll do what I must to keep you in line. Remember that.
understood, sir. I'll turn down the U.S. job offer. Osawa heard his own voice like the thin drone of a tiny insect. He felt utterly powerless.
Can't simply take your word on that.
Makino said.
Do it now. I want to hear you do it myself.
He jutted his jaw toward the phone in the backseat console. Let's go with A. All right, Osawa said. He had no choice but to fall in line. It would be around 10 p.m. local time for the American firm. He decided to call his contact's personal phone. The headhunter was shocked to hear that Osawa wanted to decline the position. When he pressed for the reasons behind the decision, Osawa hung up. Visibly relieved, Makino lit up a fresh cigar. Sir, there's one thing I don't understand.
And what's that?
Osawa's head was feeling fuzzy. The smoke inside the vehicle had gotten extremely thick. If someone has this top secret information, why would they threaten the company as a whole? Why send those emails to me, personally?
I'm not sure. There's an internal investigation already underway. We'll find the source of the leak soon enough.
At this point, though, Osawa wasn't sure knowing who originally leaked the info mattered much at all to him. If you'll beg my pardon then, sir, Osawa said. He put his hand on the door handle. A sudden high-pitched chirp sounded from his pocket. The bug tracker Kajiwara had given him had picked up a signal.
Is that your cell?
Makino asked. Oh, yes. That's mine. He hurriedly hopped out of the car and reached into his pocket. Is this one me?
I think so. Just go with it.
Is everything all right, sir? The driver was still waiting outside the car. He leaned toward Osawa, looking concerned. Was it you? Osawa stepped close to the driver.
And I could be the driver.
He went to dinner.
Hmm?
Did you send me those emails?
What? What are you talking about, sir?
Don't play dumb with me, Osawa said. You're the only person who could have planted a listening device on a company car.
Listening device?
The driver raised an eyebrow in confusion. What are you after?
Sir, what are you talking about?
Who told you to do it? Tell me! The driver fled back into the car. Osawa clutched the bug tracker as hard as he watched the vehicle pull away. He went back to his house, still gripped by confusion, to find Ai waiting in the entryway. She must have gotten home while he was out.
Jules.
You were with my father, weren't you?
She sneered at Osawa as he slipped off his shoes. Yes, I was, he replied. And it's over.
What's over?
She knows damn well what? He struggled to contain his irritation. America. I'm not going, he huffed.
Oh, really? Well, that is good news.
She sounded sincerely pleased, maybe a little more pleased than Osawa cared for. I need to go finish up some work things, he mumbled. He hurried to his study up on the second floor. He threw himself down in front of his computer. There hadn't been any progress on the investigation, as usual. Just how long was this all going to go on for? Were all kidnapping cases this drawn out? Osawa was growing more and more uneasy. He could barely contain himself at this point. Wasn't there something, anything that he could do? He glanced over at his monitor. That's an idea. He could look up kidnapping investigations on the internet. That might give him some insight into the current situation. Kidnapping, police investigations, hostages. He typed the 3 keywords into the search field. The engine pulled up over 100,000 hits. He scanned the beginning of the list for anything that might be useful. One of the site links caught his eye. How the police do it. It looked like a page containing information on various types of police cases. He clicked on the link for kidnapping cases and began to read. Even if the hostage wound up safe in the end, the site informed him, the police lost face if the culprit got away. And if the hostage were killed and the kidnapper evaded capture, the media would have a field day. This made up apprehending the suspect an absolute necessity. Even if a person's life was on the line, when it came to a kidnapping case, the police prioritized making the arrest. Taking his hand off the mouse, Osawa sat back and thought. He wasn't going to be able to relax until he heard Maria's voice again. But if the police prioritized arresting the suspect, why were they just letting things stay in limbo now? Didn't they have the crooks under surveillance? He couldn't wrap his head around that. The internet hadn't been able to give him the info he'd hoped for after all. Unable to do anything for Maria but wait, he turned his thoughts to how his opportunity to transfer to the US had passed him by. The research facilities in America would have been top tier. Some part of him still couldn't quite accept what had happened. He stole a quick look back at the door, then surfed the Aya Kamiki fan community for people 40 and over. Whenever something was weighing on his mind, posting to these forums seemed to turn his mood back around. He knew that now wasn't really the time to be doing this, but he needed to do something to calm and quiet his mind. He started a new forum topic. In the title field, he wrote, Aya Kamiki expanding into the US. With Aya Kamiki still at the height of her popularity, does anyone else think it would be exciting if she ventured into the American market? I know I would. She's not the sort of artist who deserves to be confined to Japan. She should be recording at an American studio, staffed by the industry's best. I'd love to see her career really take off over there. He wound up getting into a little back and forth with himself. Hopefully, he'd get a response from someone else soon. A sudden shrill noise startled him so much that he nearly cried out. His heart fluttered like that of a young child who had been caught in some prank. Realizing that the sound was coming from the bug tracker, he pulled it from his pocket and took a few breaths to steady himself. Evidently, someone had bugged his study as well. Tracker in hand, he walked toward the center of the room. What direction was the signal coming from? He tried heading over toward the window. Here, maybe? Next, he headed over to his desk. Here too? The bug tracker was picking up signals from all over the room. Had there been that many listening devices planted in here?
Mr. Osawa? Oh,
Mr. Osawa, it's Kajiwara! Ah, perfect timing. Osawa hurried to let the detective into the study. The bug tracker's picking up signals. Oh? Yes, from all over the room. What should I do? Mr. Osawa, please calm down. As if that's even possible right now. It feels like there must be 10, no, maybe 100 listening devices in here. Kajiwara didn't miss a beat. Let me be honest with you. That bug tracker is broken. What? Osawa was dumbfounded. Broken? But this is the one I got from you, right? Well, yes. But mine isn't detecting anything. Kajiwara produced an identical bug tracker from his pocket. And as he'd said, it wasn't getting any signal. As I recall, Mr. Osawa, that one was dropped on the floor when I was trying to hand it to you. Ah, yes, that's right. That must have been when it broke, sir. The strength ebbed from Osawa's body. He didn't have the mental energy to be angry anymore. He gave the tracker a whack with the palm of his hand and the beeping stopped. "Right," he said. "What can I do for you?" Kajiwara clapped his hands together as if he just remembered something. "Ah, right! We have a big problem!" "The toilet again?" Osawa sighed. "No, it's not that. It's something worse." Kajiwara's face turned grim. Something worse. B. There was no way it could be that important. Osawa didn't need to listen to this clown. "Sorry, but I think we're done here. Now would you please leave?" Kajiwara's steely expression hardened even further. "But, Mr. Osawa, your life is on the line here." "What?" Just then, a pathetic gurgle arose from Osawa's stomach. "Ah, see," Kajiwara said. "You are hungry." At the talk of food, Osawa realized abruptly that he hadn't eaten anything since the night before. "Shall I make something for you?" the detective asked. "This is all my fault, after all." Osawa raised a curious eyebrow. "Your fault?" "Well, you see, we ordered lunches for everyone, and it looked like there were 2 still left over, so I wound up eating them." There was an awkward pause. Osawa didn't have the foggiest idea of how to respond. "My deepest apologies, sir. I ate the lunches intended for you and your wife." Kajiwara bowed profusely. "And I really do need to apologize. They were tonkatsu bento boxes, and they were delicious. The meat was so tender, and the batter so crisp. With each and every bite, the rich flavor just filled my mouth more and more." Osawa felt a blood vessel burst in his skull. "So then, this is what you meant when you said my life was on the line?" "Yes, sir. Hunger is the enemy of the mind. It interferes with your ability to make proper decisions, so you really ought to get something in your stomach." Osawa was too flabbergasted to reply. "Right then, Mr. Osawa. Please, follow me to the kitchen." What's with the get-up? "Wearing an apron in the kitchen is a must, sir." "Alas, it isn't while I'm naked." Naked? "Oh, are you not familiar with the concept of the naked apron?" "I could demonstrate if you like." "No, that's quite all right. Where'd you get the apron anyway?
It's mine, sir.
Have you had it with you this whole time?
Yes. In here.
With a smile, Kajiwara pointed to his pocket. Of course. Osawa eased himself onto a chair. His hunger was making him feel weak, and Kajiwara was making him feel like he was losing his mind.
Oh, this is bad,
The detective said.
I need to whip up something for you fast. Something's definitely wrong if you don't even have a comeback.
Osawa felt his anxiety mounting. Just what sort of food was this insufferable oaf going to make anyway? Probably nothing worth eating was his bet. I want to see what happens with A. For now, he'd just have to pray he wound up with something edible. Kajiwara peered into the refrigerator.
Goodness, you are remarkably understocked,
He said.
Let's see. Could you please put these in the dinger, Mr. Osawa?
The detective handed Osawa some frozen lumps of rice. The dinger? What the heck is a dinger?
The microwave oven, sir.
Osawa stepped in front of the microwave. Unfortunately, he had no idea how to work the controls.
You should thaw that rice out as soon as possible.
Kajiwara told him. I'm actually not sure how to operate this thing.
What?
The detective gasped.
You don't know how to use a microwave?
Osawa could only nod in silent shame.
It should just be as simple as turning the dial.
Wait, which one?
That one, sir. The one on the right.
Osawa turned the dial, then crossed his arms with a satisfied grin.
Mr. Osawa, you need to put in the rice in first before you do that.
Well, then why didn't you say that? Osawa snapped. I've never worked in a kitchen in my life. Don't ask me to do things that are this difficult.
Very well. I'll handle this from here. Why don't you get out the bowls and the chopsticks then, sir?
I have no idea where the hell those are kept. Kajiwara let out a heavy sigh.
Oh, all right then. Please just sit and wait, sir,
He said.
Then here, take this.
Kajiwara pulled out a sheet of bubble wrap from his pocket.
Use your fingers to pop the bubbles. That should help you calm down.
Too drained to argue, Osawa did as prompted, starting to pop his way along the sheet. Rather than calm him down, though, it was making him incredibly cross. This felt more like a sort of ridiculous punishment.
They say you can learn a lot about a household by looking in the fridge, you know.
Kajiwara was cooking something in a frying pan. And? Osawa asked. Just what have you learned about mine?
I'd better not say, sir. You might take offense.
Osawa snapped another bubble between his fingers.
The rice has finished thawing.
Kajiwara topped the steaming bowl of rice with the fried egg he'd whipped up in his pan. Then, as if it were an afterthought, he added some pickled vegetables.
Here you are, sir. Your fried egg on rice is complete.
Kajiwara grinned from ear to ear.
Go ahead and eat it while it's still warm.
Osawa received the bowl with a dubious look. You aren't very good at cooking, are you? He said.
All you had in your refrigerator were eggs and pickled vegetables, sir. I assure you it's quite delicious. I recommend breaking the yolk and mixing it all together.
Reluctantly, Osawa brought a bite to his mouth. That's good. The words came out almost unbidden.
Isn't it just? Egg yolk and pickled vegetables pair quite well.
Osawa couldn't help but stuff his face, slipping into a rapturous daze as he did. The more he ate, the more it stirred his appetite. I had no idea fried eggs could be this delicious.
I know you probably have a long ordeal still ahead of you, sir. But please, keep your chin up and hang in there.
Kajiwara gave Osawa an amiable smile.
Ah, that's right,
He continued.
and for dessert, we have bananas.
No, thank you. Kajiwara grimaced as Osawa held up a hand in refusal.
Right then. When you're finished eating, would you please wash the bowl?
Me? Wash dishes? Osawa exclaimed in surprise, sounding like a petulant child.
If someone else cooks for you, you should do the cleaning up. It's only polite.
Fine. Okay. While Osawa was doing the dishes, the bug detector went off again.
Director, you have a moment?
Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen.
I got something urgent to discuss with you.
I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes! I'm in luck! I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. It's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's burning hammer, all right. There's 50 bottles per box. And there are 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen, including tax, I can buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Yanagishita said he was selling the bottles at the demo for 15,000 yen apiece. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts no problem.
Panda, are you back?
Whoa, what's the deal with you?
The sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff! I'd like your entire stock! I point at the burning hammer and the clerk makes an awkward face.
I'm afraid this should have been sold.
What? You mean like all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this.
Yes, all of it, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn the extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've gotta help me out.
I'm afraid it's in my hands.
Then could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate.
I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? This has to be ASAP.
Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face.
Jules.
Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved.
She says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please pardon my intrusion, but... would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep, and my costume head wobbles around.
Wait, what?
I'll pay you double what they're worth.
No can do. I have never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it.
Surely you don't need this many, though.
I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need.
Oh wow.
The sales clerk interjects.
What sort of work do you do exactly?
I'm a martial artist. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it? It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days.
Oh, I know the place.
The sales clerk says, brimming with sudden excitement.
The part where they had cosplay martial arts competitions, right?
Hold on, what are we talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of this place.
It's a nightlife spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. I've been wanting to check it out, but they hit their membership cap. Oh, the sales clerk.
Don't worry about it.
The sales clerk explains. So then, you must be pretty...
So then, you must be pretty strong, huh?
He says to the girl.
Well, I mean... I may not look it, but I'm the current champion.
The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me? I ask.
A challenge?
If I win, you have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile.
Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here?
She asks. I intend to find out.
Whoa!
The sales clerk exclaims.
I just gotta see this.
I'm glad to have him egging us on.
Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge.
Sweet. We've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. I've got to win this. Somehow or another, I have got to. I mean, I've got to be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. I address my opponent. And by challenge, I naturally mean...
B. That sounds fun.
Let's play a rhyming game.
Huh?
The girl says. She seems a bit put off by the suggestion. Yeah, I say, and if I win, you have to let me have all of those. These.
A rhyming game? Really?
Okay then. Really.
Silly. Okay then. Listen.
Listen.
Wait.
Wait.
What?
Okay
Listen.
then. Glisten.
I'm a martial art.
Artist? Ooh, that's a tough one. Aha! Smartest. Glow.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm a fighter.
Okay, fighter shouldn't be too hard. I can do this. Just have to not panic. Let's see. Writer! Aha! Okay. Scissors.
What do you mean, scissors? No! Oh?
I'm not sure.
Wait, what the heck is going on?
Crap. Nothing rhymes with scissors. That's an illegal move. I drop into a fighting stance. Okay then. Shall we fight? The girl grins back at me.
Now you're talking. The name's Miku, by the way.
Katsu.
Challenge accepted.
Miku and I march out of the shop. Out on the pavement, we stare each other down.
So if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer.
Miku says.
But if I win, I get to keep it, and you have to pay for it.
What? Isn't that a little unfair?
If you don't like it, then it's no fight, no deal.
I don't have the time to rethink this. All right.
Ready whenever you are.
Miku does a little brisk shadow boxing, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination.
I think it's just bystanders. Emilio, go for it.
Whoa, what's the deal?
Nolan.
See me there?
Yeah.
Something going on?
It's a street fight.
A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows, and some of them stop to form a small crowd. Oh, let's go. The sales demo has already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here. I watch as Miku starts up her footwork. A left jab. She's quick. I can see why she's the champion.
Oh yeah!
She immediately follows up the jab with a wide right hook. I jerk aside at the last possible moment and deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder.
Whoa!
She slips off balance and pitches forward.
Frank. No, wow, what was that?
The crowd has started clamoring. Miku rights herself and gets back into a fighting stance.
What the? How?
She doesn't seem to know what just happened.
Ah!
This time, I watch as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On reflex, I bring up my right hand and adopt a guarding stance.
Gotcha!
She calls out. It was a feint! There's a visceral whoop as a second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle.
Whoa, what gives?
My big mascot head serves to cushion the blow to the point that I barely feel it.
Hi-ya!
She proceeds to unleash a string of additional kicks with her left leg, trying to defeat my fuzzy armor. Eventually, I catch hold of her foot, holding her off balance. I begin to walk her forward, backward, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. A casual flip of my paw, and Miku goes whirling through the air.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Ah!
The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle.
You're tough. Who the heck are you?
As you can see, I am a cat. A wry smile comes to Miku's face.
To think a bride competitor would lose in a street fight. Guess it's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. Today is the day I retire.
Phew. Good match there. Miku clasps my hand firmly.
But, hey! I'm just glad that my last opponent was you.
I hoist up the boxes of the diet drink. So, how much does this come to? I ask the sales clerk. He shakes his head.
Oh, don't move your payment. You wasn't in it with the spectacular display just now. This is really something.
Heck, even I am shocked at what just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you.
So that movie you used. That's some kind of Akijujutsu, yeah?
Huh? Oh, I guess? I tilt my head non-committally.
Come on, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic, and I'm a major on Steam.
He can call it whatever he wants if he's letting me have the drinks for free. This is going to be a lifesaver.
So all the shipping you were doing with us today?
He asks. Actually, come to think of it, I do have one request, I say.
Sure thing.
Could you please not sell that necklace there? I promise I'll be back to buy it later.
Sure, no problem.
The sales clerk gives a deep bow. I did it. I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now I've just got to get back to the sales demo.
Oh, that must be awfully heavy. Here, why don't you use a dolly?
The sales clerk indicates the hand truck over in the corner. Oh, thanks so much. I load the pile of boxes onto the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. By now, the sales demo will be well underway. I need to get back as soon as I can. If there's nothing to buy, the customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will have been for nothing. Come on, Tama, you can do it. I just gotta hurry. I charge for the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Ah! Oops! Sorry to keep you waiting.
You're late! What the heck have you been doing?
Mr. Yanagishita practically throws himself at me. The weight must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. Who is that guy? He doesn't look like a customer.
Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute.
I follow Mr. Yanagishita into the break room. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. But look! I got the product back! I proudly open up one of the cardboard boxes.
It really is!
Yanagishita clutches the box close, nuzzling it with his cheek. How's the demo going? I ask.
I've got Chiri keeping them occupied with some magic tricks.
I sneak a peek through the door and see Chiri guzzling orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it in one go. Is that really a magic trick?
If it buys us time, it's magic enough.
Before long, the last of the juice is gone. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all 7 of those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Chiri comes back to the break room, positively drenched in sweat.
I think I should have stuck to doing imitations for a little longer.
No, that was fantastic, Chiri.
Mr. Yanagishita says.
Just fantastic. Thanks to you, we had enough time to get the burning hammer back.
He bows profusely.
Alright, now's time for the main event. Chiri, go out there and guzzle down some burning hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it?
Aye, aye, boss.
And Tama, just go up there, smile all big, and say, "This helped me lose a bunch of weight, too." Got it?
Got it.
Good. Now then,
Yanagishita gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before, who's been waiting quietly nearby.
Me? I think so. Go for it.
Of course. Begging your pardon, miss.
Oh.
It's a service rep from the rental shop who proceeds to try to get me out of my mascot suit.
And go for it.
Oh? That's odd.
The rental guy tilts his head.
what's the matter?
Yanagishita asks nervously.
Yeah. This is a no-go.
The rental guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit.
This here zipper? It's all jammed up. It's gonna take a long time to get this thing off.
The hell?
Mr. Yanagishita clutches the side of his head. The rental guy tries tugging at the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper, but like he said, it's no use. The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat's mewling.
Was that you?
He looks at me, confused.
Did you hear a cat meowing?
Yes?
Was it you?
No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is.
Must be hearing things.
Mr. Yanagishita and Chiri don't seem to have heard anything.
Bah,
Yanagishita is fuming.
just my luck. I finally find a cute model, and the crowd's never going to see her.
Hey, boss.
Chiri says.
The customers are gonna leave if you keep them waiting much longer. What do we do? Want me to go out there and do some more impressions? They're all serious.
No, we don't have any choice. Tama, you're just gonna have to go out there dressed like that.
Are you sure? I ask.
Those people go home. We're done for.
He exclaims.
Just get out there and get started. I'm counting on you two.
Emilio.
Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting.
Chiri and I spring into action on stage.
But now, I'm proud to introduce to you the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer. The latest product from the West that has taken the diet world by storm.
Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people here. We only need to sell 5 bottles to each customer in order to sell out. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works its oh, that's true.
Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drinks works its magic.
Chiri begins. The plan is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Chiri will demonstrate it with the taste test. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'll be shedding weight, right? Here's how Burning Hammer works. It activates the I can never say this word. Capsaicin found in chili peppers. I pause to take a deep breath before continuing. And rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. The response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now this young lady here will demonstrate Burning Hammer's effects before your very eyes. Chiri steps into the spotlight. Just wait till you see how much she sweats. Proof that the fat is being burned right there on the spot. Chiri holds a bottle of Burning Hammer up high.
Cheers,
she says. As she opens the bottle, however, one of the women in the front row speaks up.
Frank.
Hold on! She's already sweating pretty hard!
She's right. Chiri's drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in, suspicious.
Oh, that juice drinking from earlier. It's all just to make us sound like that, wasn't it?
All of a sudden, the crowd is in an uproar. No, not at all. Drinking Burning Hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rush to towel off Chiri's sweat for her. Go on, hurry up. Drink it down. Chiri's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. And the sweat doesn't come. Oh, why isn't it working? I exclaim, the audience momentarily forgotten.
Guess I've already sweated out too much.
Chiri applies, unfazed. Well, why were you sweating so much?
Look, you were taking forever at that 100 yen shop!
The crowd shifts from uproar into riot.
Frank.
Did she just say 100 yen shop?
Scowling customers begin to close in.
Nolan.
No, that's not it. You've got it all wrong. Please just listen.
Nolan.
Oh, we can see what's going on here.
The situation has gotten out of our control. Look, this product is so valuable that 100 yen shop is about the only way we could get it. Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. The customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. What?
That's gonna be...
Kidding! That was just a joke! I've just gotta play this off smooth. I mean, seriously. There's no way you'd find something this high quality in a 100 yen shop. Sweat is streaming down my brow.
Panda.
Really now?
says one woman in the crowd.
How about we find out?
She takes out her cell phone.
I know someone who runs one of those stores.
Wait, let's not be hasty now.
Ah, what's wrong?
Oh, it's just, you don't need to go out of your way like that.
You said you were joking, didn't you? So it doesn't matter if I make the call, right?
Well... I slip into a nervous coughing fit. I'm absolutely sweating bullets inside my cat suit. Now,
Tama!
shouts Mr. Yanagishita as he rushes out of the break room.
What the heck are you doing? Abort! Abort!
He howls.
If you let these people know the truth about this stuff, they'll never buy it.
Uh-oh. Now you've done it.
Uh-oh, now you've done it.
Chiri doesn't hesitate to point the finger at him, her stare ferocious. Realizing what he just blurted out, Mr. Yanagishita is aghast. Now there really is no saving this. The customers descend upon Mr. Yanagishita, their wrath a terror to behold.
So it is true. Oh.
Frank.
What the hell are you trying to pull?
Nolan.
I can't believe you try to sell this crap for these prices!
The throne goes on the attack.
Help me!
Chiri and I force our way through the angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless, open-handed slaps. I get all jostled and tumbled about, and my mascot... my mascot costume takes a bad beating. Finally, the storm passes. It's over.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't tell. I think it's you, Emilio.
Okay. It's over. It's all over.
Mr. Yanagishita wails to the empty room.
So, boss? About getting paid.
Even Chiri seems hesitant to ask.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously.
Yanagishita doesn't so much as look up. His shoulders slump further in defeat.
I'll take payment in kind then.
Chiri says.
Mind if I take this burning hammer home with me?
Sure,
Yanagishita says lifelessly.
go right ahead.
Alright. I'll be off then. Later, Tama.
Chiri picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir? It's the man from the rental. Oh.
I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals.
Oh, right. How much was it again?
Mr. Yanagishita rummages in his pockets.
Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I have to add the full cost of the cats into your bill. Your total comes to 200,000 yen.
What was that? 200 yen?
Yeah. Oh, no, sir. 200,000.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Otto. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum.
200,000 yen, sir.
Okay.
Yanagishita takes all the cash he has in his wallet and holds it out reluctantly.
That's only 20,000, sir.
The rental guy furrows his brow.
I'm afraid this won't cover it.
I understand that. But I don't got no more than this.
Come on. Sir, please, you're not a child.
Then give me a discount. Make it 20,000.
Is this the 200 you owe? You know I can't do that, sir.
But Mr. Yanagishita refuses to back down.
That's right. Insurance. I got insurance in the event the suit wound up damaged.
You didn't.
No, I did.
You did not, sir.
No, I did.
Then where's your paperwork to prove it?
Yanagishita calmly claps a hand to his chest.
Right here. The paperwork is here inside my heart.
What?
The rental guy clutches the side of his head in exasperation. And believe me, I feel his pain.
You know what? Never mind. I'm going to leave this to my boss. You poor bastard.
Turning his back on the rooms of the sales demo, he slumps his way out of the room. Now it's just me and Mr. Yanagishita. Please try not to let it get you down so much, sir, I say as cheerfully as I can muster. He's already down on the floor, a sobbing mess.
It's like to feel so utterly hopeless.
I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it.
At this point, there's nothing more I can possibly do.
He slumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure.
You don't know me like I know me,
he says.
There's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this.
Okay, now this little pity party is starting to piss me off. You know, if you think you're the only one who's had a run of bad luck, you are dead wrong. I wind up shouting the words louder than I intended. Mr. Yanagishita whips his head back up.
Yikes. Where'd that come from?
I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging to the surface. I have amnesia! Yanagishita's eyes go wide.
What?
I can't remember anything from before this morning. My name, or how old I am, where I live, any of it. I would much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Yanagishita looks at me with a hint of disbelief.
So where'd you get the name Tama, then?
I thought of it when I saw the tamagoyaki in those lunchboxes.
Ah, Tamagoyaki. Tom? I get it.
He claps himself on the thighs, as if he's had some big eureka moment.
But wait. How come you lost your memories?
Well, I don't know for certain. Obviously, I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache.
Storehouse?
Oh my god. Sorry, I just put it together. A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange, dim place. Yeah, I just gotten out of there when you flagged me down, sir.
Huh? Really? So it's pretty unnerving then, not knowing who you are.
He sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, it sure is, but it's not going to do me any good to just fret over it. And besides, I've got a clue.
Sort of clue.
There's a necklace I saw at a knick-knack shop, the same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow, I know that it's important to me.
So you took this job so you could afford to buy it.
I nod. Of course. Now that the job has ended in a total bust, I've lost my shot at getting it.
Okay then.
Mr. Yanagishita removes his shoe, then yanks out the insole.
This here is really the last. This here really is the last of my money.
He pulls out 20,000 yen, adds it to the other 20,000 yen from his wallet, and thrusts it all toward me.
Here you go.
He says.
That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up.
I pluck up two of the 10,000 yen bills between my fingertips. I actually didn't have to pay for it, so the 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But how about you, sir? Are you going to be okay? Like, after all this?
Compared to your misfortunes, mine are nothing.
They might send me up the creek without a paddle. Wait, still fucking you, I'm sorry.
They might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow. I'm sure of it. And then?
Clutching his fist, Mr. Yanagishita sets a far-off look in his eye.
And then, one more time. I'm gonna go see a bride fight.
My jaw nearly drops. Bride? Like the martial arts pop?
Wait, you know about Bride? Man, I've spent so much money at that place.
Wow, it is a small world.
Especially that Miku. I wonder how much she has made me spend.
Ew. Miku, huh? I'm pretty sure I just accidentally forced her into retirement, but I decide to keep quiet on that front. He nods.
To be honest, the reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place. And I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources, too.
I can't help but suspect that this poor guy got a real raw deal.
Why don't you take the mascot costume with you?
Huh? I mean, I don't really need it.
No, I insist. Take it with my blessing.
Sure. I'll be on my way then. Out in the hallway, I passed by the man I'd noticed earlier, the one I didn't recognize. Odd. The sales demo is over. I wonder why he's still here. I give him a faint nod and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At last, I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the catsuit to the man from the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around in town wearing this thing. I'll stick out like a sore thumb. I figure it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on. I still can't get this thing off! Skin it, skin it. It's time I skinned this cat. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upward as hard as I can. Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than it did before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe... It comes off! I did it. I slip out of the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop.